Hey y'all, it's Amber, and today we're making an old family recipe that I grew up eating this for dinner all the time, and it's an easy and quick pork chop recipe. This recipe calls for 6 pork chops, but obviously it's going to depend on your size. These are pretty big pork chops, so it's just 4 pork chops. I'm going to mix together soy sauce, lemon juice, an onion, and brown sugar. The original recipe calls for white sugar, but I kind of think brown sugar will be a little better in this recipe. So I've already salted these pork chops, and sometimes if they're really thick, you can go ahead and pre-cook them for 10-15 minutes with salt and pepper on, and then put your marinade on them, and then pop them back in the oven. But these are thin, so we're just going to go ahead and mix up our marinade, pour it over, and then it goes in the oven and you're done. So it's super fast and really easy. So this starts with soy sauce, and this is 6 tablespoons of soy sauce. I use low sodium. You don't have to, but it's just what I usually buy. I've already salted these, so I definitely don't need any in here. If I had more pork chops, I would probably do 1.5 of this whole marinade recipe, because I like a little extra sauce in there, because this marinade is going to get thick as it cooks, and it's really good to spoon over the top when you're eating it. So 6 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm going to squeeze in the juice of a lemon. Make sure you catch your seeds. If your lemon's not juicy enough, just go ahead and add in another half. You really want about 3 tablespoons. Alright, next I'm going to go in with, get the top off. Next I'm going to go in with about 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. This is light brown sugar. I just like how caramelly and molasses-y it is. And then I diced up about half of a medium onion. Alright, so we have our soy sauce, lemon juice, onion, pepper, brown sugar. I just added a little more soy sauce just because I want to have, like I said before, more sauce at the end of the whole process. So everything's mixed together. You just pour it over. And then I'm going to spread out all these onions and make sure they're all over. These are going to cook down to next to nothing. So even if you're not an onion fan, there's really not going to be that much that you taste at the end, like a true onion flavor. It's just going to flavor the whole thing. And if you really hate onions, you can always just scrape them off. I remember doing that as a kid, and now I love the taste of onions. So it's funny how your taste change. So get all that on there, and then you're going to cover it with foil. And this goes in a 350-degree oven for about an hour. Again, if your pork chops are a little thicker, you can increase the cook time, but usually an hour gets the job done on a standard size pork chop. So our pork chops are in the oven, and next I'm going to move forward with a side, and this is a side that I use a lot. And usually when I cook anything in the oven, I like to try to get as much as I can in there. To me, it makes the cooking process and the whole meal prep a lot easier, because while everything's cooking in the oven, you can clean up and get something else ready. So our pork chops in for an hour. I have diced up some potatoes. Obviously you can dice up as many or as little as you like, depending on how much your family eats. Bear and I love these potatoes. So I always line my cookie sheets when I'm roasting with foil, just so I don't have to wash the pan afterwards. It's a lot easier to clean up. But all you have to do with these potatoes, drizzle olive oil, good salt and pepper. I usually go easy on the pepper because Barrett is eating these. And spread them out in a single layer. And then these are going to go in a 425-degree oven for about 20-25 minutes. I like to toss them about halfway through so that you get that good brown side on more than one part of the potato. Super simple. These are going in 425 degrees about 20-25 minutes. Okay, so our food is out of the oven. Our pork chops cooked at 350 for about an hour, and our potatoes were in the oven at 425 for about 25 minutes. And the potatoes are perfect to me. I love to have a little bit of brown on a couple of sides. I toss them about halfway through. So these are perfect to me. Very tender, not too crisp, which is good for Barrett to eat. And our pork chops look nice and tender too. Now when I serve these, I like to put the pork chop on a plate and then take a spoon and spoon some of this marinade onto them. It just makes them even more saucy and keeps them really moist. This plus maybe a green salad, green beans, anything like that, and you've got a quick and simple meal. And while all of this was cooking, I could have gotten the kitchen clean and been ready for dinner. So this is definitely a go-to at our house, and it's something that I grew up going to.